miracles. And we are outside of MaiTai Mayhem, and boy, are we excited. It's a Quality Inn, a former Holodome. It's haunted.
You think it's haunted?
Ohio Hotel past. Haunted of night. Tropical atmosphere in the Midwest, and the Tiki Rotties, the Polynesiacs, they are arriving by the bushel, and everyone is set to have a great time here at MaiTai Mayhem. It is warm and humid, like the tropics. We are simulating the true tiki experience of the South Pacific. Here in beautiful Richfield, Ohio, in a chilly March day. All right, we're here with Chris Moresco.
Aloha.
You are the major domo of MaiTai Mayhem. How did all this come about, Chris?
Well, first of all, I prefer the term Grand Poobah. I think it's much more fitting. I kind of had this idea like, oh man, it'd be cool to do a tiki weekender in Ohio. There's not much of that kind of stuff ever since the Hot Rod Hula Hop. And then we found this wonderful location that's an old holodome. Has all sorts of awesome interior recreational stuff that we can use during the winter. And we're like, this is it, let's go.
So this is a real event on the tiki calendar now, right?
Yeah, I like to think that we've made an unpleasant little blemish on the tiki calendar.
You dented that sucker hard, I'd say. So how did you get into tiki?
I loved the whole culture. I lived through the magazines of stuff that was going on the West Coast and in New York. Yeah, I think I got my first like real tiki mugs when I was probably about 13.
Well, you're a literal lifelong tiki aficionado.
Yeah, I've been.
You're committed to the cause.
Yeah. What I'm most excited for is just seeing everyone out in that atrium area, around the pool, in the middle of March with snow outside, having surf bands playing and just having a good time.
One of the things I really love about what you do and also Tiki Underground are the graphics. Who put all this together? Like, what a great sign. I love that.
Yes. This was done by our wonderful Dr. Bill.
We know Dr. Bill.
Yes.
How did you figure out the economics of it? Because, of course, you don't want to lose money, right?
Yeah, so the only credit I can give to anyone is with Sean and Jesse. I was just this knucklehead that would show up at their bar and drink lots of tiki drinks. I'd be like, what would be great? Let's do a tiki event here. And then they were like, yeah, let's do it. And we've got the bar, so we'll back it. And I'm like, oh, we're going to try to give a little bit of a representation of what it might have been like to have a dinner out at the Kahiki.
Oh.
Also, Tiki Tom Tom will be here talking about travel tips. Rocket Betty here talking about tiki fashion. Yeah, we're hoping to have a good time, man.
I don't see how you could not. And again, we will check out the Damage by Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Really sweet. If you would like,
Yeah.
he will lick, but he will not bite, or he might lick. He has 3 legs because he decided to go on an adventure, clawing through our AC unit and then falling 5 stories. It was horrible. He was missing for 24 hours before he came and kind of crawled his way back home to us while we were searching desperately. And amazingly, he was fine, except
he had a GoFundMe
He
for
did.
his surgery, raised $3,000.
Yep.
He's the only tiki parrot we know, right?
Yeah, he is.
I'm convinced that Todd might be David Bowie reincarnated. Pretty sure he's an interdimensional being. I don't think he's actually a ferret. I think he's from another planet. And he's just here inhabiting this little ferret body for a while because he's very spiritual. He's a spiritual being. And we all feel very connected to Todd. He's very
Got
spoiled.
something to say?
It's fuzzy like you.
He does like soft, fuzzy things. Yes, I did make him a little leg. He is 6 years old, which is pretty old for a ferret.
We need the tour.
Oh, when it all gets too much. Oh, I'm so relaxed.
So I am here with Stephen Rastic.
Hi, I'm Stephen Rastic.
Yes, Stephen. Well, you're here at
Hi.
MaiTai Mayhem, and what are you
I
doing
am.
here? What is all this amazing stuff you have?
Well, I am one of 23 dealers of this event, and it's the MaiTai Mayhem. There are events similar to this all over the country for tiki people, much like Harley Davidson people, or what other kind of people are there?
Other weird people.
Other groups of,
Swingers.
yeah. It's kind of a throwback to the 50s and 60s when tropical things and exotica were in. Drank exotic drinks and ate exotic food.
Escape. Real
Escape.
life.
That's what it was. It was escaping real life. I try to bring things up from these tropical places to non-tropical places so that people can find things that they wouldn't find at their neighborhood thrift shop in most cases. Now, my career and my business was always in advertising and fashion. I like to help people look good and have some fun.
Stephen is really good at finding the right fashion accessory, the right fashion piece for you, for your tiki bar, maybe you're going to a tiki party.
I won't sell anything to anybody unless it makes them feel good and it looks good and it's right for them. Because the other piece of it too is nobody has money to waste. Even if it's $5, that's silly to buy something and then take it home and then you realize what the hell did I buy this for, because I'm never going to wear it. It's wearable fashion and you don't feel like it's Halloween. And if it has a vintage vibe to it, all the better, because you're today. That's what's happening today.
Jesse Coffee, you are the co-owner of Tiki Underground, and you are the co-grand poobah of MaiTai Mayhem. And we just realized violence is inherent in the name.
It is.
You woke up and chose violence.
We did.
With mayhem.
We did.
So we've spoken to Chris. How did all this come about from your perspective?
We were at Inalele, which is a tiki event in Atlanta, and we were talking to one of our friends, and he said, we should do this in Ohio. Here we are.
Set in stone.
It was so simple. Last year we said, well, let's just try it out, see if anyone's interested. We had 130 people show up with 3 weeks notice. Now we have almost, 340 people, 22 states.
Amazing.
I don't even know what to say.
I think you're leaving one out. Chris said 23.
Did he? Oh. maybe that was the District of Columbia, right?
All right, so let's back up. How did you personally get into tiki? I mean, literally, it's, your business.
My husband, when we first started dating, he had a big Easter Island Moai in his living room, and it was all lit up, and I said, what is that? And he started trying to explain to me what tiki culture was to him, what his home bar meant to him. You've heard the story.
Oh, yes.
I love rockabilly and surf music and cocktails.
3 for 3.
I know. And I said, do you want to open a bar? When we had this event last year, there were a lot of people who didn't know anything about tiki culture, but they just came because it sounded fun.
Really?
And then again, they learned.
Suck them in. Tiki Tom Tom. All right, so how did you get into this entire world and then become such an arbiter?
So I was really into mid-century modern. I had a house I'd kind of decked out mid-century modern. I had some friends one night that were like, if you're a mid-century modern guy, you should go to make a tiki drink. And so I said, sure, it's got to be easy, right? So I tried making them a tiki drink, and it was horrible. And I don't like doing things not well. So I thought, well, I probably should go visit a tiki bar or two.
Consult a
And so,
professional.
Yeah, so I was working, thankfully, in education. I at least had 2 or 3 trips a year where I could go to big cities, and it wasn't just about the tiki drinks at that point. It was like this level of commitment to nostalgia that really struck with me. So.
Is it nostalgia, or is it escapism, or is it both?
I don't know that it's one or the other. It's probably both at this point. There's certainly nostalgia from the standpoint of my kind of upbringing because, I think of my grandparents' generation and that kind of stuff. Just a little bit of everything.
So how did you dive into the home tiki bar aspect? I mean, that's unique, and to take it so seriously and document it, kind of like an educator.
I fell into it really because I was planning on retiring from my job of 30 years at the community college, and I was just going to do a blowout road trip. And it was the spring of 21. COVID's still in full force. I wanted to go to all these tiki bars. The tiki bars were closed. And I had started having conversations with friends who were into tiki, and they were like, "You at least come and visit our home bars." And so I thought, well, I'll just take some pictures of their bar, and I'll write something about it. Maybe that would be something that would be helpful to them. And, when I started the trip and started writing the stories, I moved from talking about the bar like a reviewer would talk about a bar, like it had good decor, the drinks were 5-star. I moved into like,
thumbs up.
what was the interesting story that this person was telling me?
Right.
And a lot of the stories are about, it's not quite obsession, but that's the reason I use the term Polynesiac. It's a little bit manic about tiki. And so, these are people who turned their homes into elaborate, almost Disney-like, attractions.
Right.
And so...
People have animatronics.
Exactly. And, people were like, you should turn this into a book, you should, that kind of stuff. And I listened to them.
I assume as an educator, you've been a writer, in essence, all along.
Actually, I never thought of myself as a writer before I started this project.
Really?
When I was in community colleges, I remember my very first year, I would send memos out. I worked in student services. I would send memos out. I would get those memos back, red-lined, from English faculty, like, you should write this better. This is how you should write it. Maybe that was the best thing for me because, what I learned was that I had to really pay attention to the way that I wrote.
Right.
And over time, I became a better writer. And so, I don't know, I like writing from the heart. I want there to be something in the story that connects you into a feeling that you might
well, you're
have.
mainly a storyteller.
Yeah.
Well, that was really quite a commitment. And then your new project, I'm almost more impressed and interested in that. How did you find your 100+ artists who are now covering for your new book?
It really started with the home bars that I would visit. Of course, everyone was telling me the pieces that they had in their bar. So this is by Bosco. This is by Tiki Tony. This is by Shag. Those people, those artists were the ones that I heard of the most.
Sure.
And then it would just start build from there. There were local artists, and so, one of the good things about visiting so many places around the U.S. is that I also learned about artists that were regional for that area. And so it wasn't that difficult, actually, to start creating a list of around 50 to 60. From there, I started looking on socials. So,
I mean, do you think you're going to keep going with tiki-related projects after this?
my goal is definitely to churn out this second book. We'll see at that point. We'll see. The writing process for me is something that, it comes and goes. I do get writer's block occasionally. So.
Sure, well, who doesn't?
Yeah.
All right, well, great talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the interview.
Enjoyed the talk.